Well. Welcome to this section of the course Azure Management Infrastructure. As you can see in the video, they are discussing this lady's KPIs and she is very nervous. But let's make Azure great again and let's look at that Azure Management Infrastructure. Azure Management Infrastructure is like a big toy box where we keep all our toys. It's like a grouping of things. But this box is too big that we need different tools to manage it. These tools are like the keys to the toy box, and they help us make sure that everything is in the right place and we can find the toys we need when we need them. In Azure, there's different tools to help manage the cloud services we use. Now, some of these tools help us create new services, while others just help us keep the services we already have working correctly. We can also use these tools to monitor our services, track our usage, and make sure that we are not spending too much money. No one wants to spend too much money. That's the bottom line, right? Overall, the Azure Management Infrastructure is like the tools we use to keep our toys organized so we can find what we need when we need it. It helps us manage the cloud services we use so we can focus on building amazing things with technology. Now let's look at this thing, resource groups. Now, if you're a Windows user or a Mac user, you'll know of like folders. Now, resource groups is like folders, keeping your resources together. But if we go back to the analogy of toys, you can think of Azure resource groups like your toys in a toy box. So each toy is a resource that you can play with, and you can have many different toys. In Azure, each resource is like a toy in your toy box that you can use to build things. So a resource group just combines all the resources together quite easily, and you'll see later that you can delete a resource group and then all the resources in that resource group will be deleted. This is a very nifty feature from Azure. A lot of other cloud providers uses tags. Now, Azure also have tags so that you can just differentiate between what it's used for, like dev production environments, as well as other tags that you need to put in. However, the resource groups makes it easier in Azure because you can group your stuff together. Now, sometimes you have a lot of toys and you need to keep them organized. So you might put all your cars in one pile and all of your dolls in another pile. This helps you to keep everything in order and find what you need easily. In Azure, we use something called resource groups to help us organize our resources, like folders, where you want to keep your files. You don't want to mix your finance files with, let's say, your music files. A resource group is like a special box that helps you put your toys in. You can put all your cars in one resource group and all your dolls in another resource group. This helps you keep your resources organized and easy to find. In Azure, resource groups help you to manage your resources, so you can easily see which resources are related to each other and find what you need. Now let's look at subscriptions. It might actually be, from the name, you might actually derive what it is called. But Azure subscriptions are like a ticket that allows you to enter and use different playgrounds, called resource groups. Just like you need a ticket to play in a playground, you need an Azure subscription to create and manage different resources, such as virtual machines, database, and storage accounts. So all that is you have one subscription, let's call it user subscription, and in that subscription you can start creating resources. Now you put your resources in a resource group, which then defines them into the category 1. Example, front-end development, back-end development, database development. It's like the toys in the toolbox. With an Azure subscription, you can control who has access to your resources, track how much you spend, and create and manage multiple resource groups for different projects. You can also add and remove different services and resources depending on your needs. So if you think of Azure subscription, you can think of it as a magical ticket to explore and use all the different resources and services that Azure has to offer. Now we have something else called management groups. Azure management groups are like the captains of a big soccer team. The captain is responsible for managing the team and making sure that everyone plays their role and the team wins the match. Now similarly, Azure management groups are responsible for managing all the subscriptions under them. They allow you to apply policies and manage access, as well as delegate administration across multiple subscriptions. Think of it like you have a lot of toys and each toy has its own box. The management group is like a big box that can hold many of the small toy boxes. That's help you keep all your toys organized and in the right place. In reality, any of you have kids know that this will never be the same. But in IT world, this is very helpful. Similarly, the management groups helps you organize your resources and manage them more effectively. Management groups can help you manage your resources at scale. Simply billing and apply governance policies across multiple subscriptions. It is an awesome way to keep things organized and make sure that your resources are being used in the most effective way possible. That's it for this section. Join us in the next session of the course and have a coffee, have a break, and see you soon.